Hey there guys, so today we're going to chat through the 5 major bottlenecks that I've seen in most businesses that prevents us from scaling. In fact, if you're a business owner that's been around a while, no doubt at some point you would have experienced some or all of these. So firstly, and I like to look at this through a sales funnel lens because it really does start from the top and move straight through to the bottom. And ultimately, if you get very good at the top end of the funnel, then you're going to experience problems further down the bottleneck. So let's chat through this. Firstly, we've got our lead generation and our offer. So firstly, we need a really compelling offer. It's going to attract and essentially pre-sell our leads. And then ultimately, it's getting a channel in place so that we can generate consistent opportunity at the top end of our pipeline. So that's one of the first things a business should really aim to do is get their lead generation, one lead generation channel dialed in with a really compelling offer. When you do this, it makes the rest of the whole marketing and sales process so much easier. Then as we move further down the funnel, we've got our sales process. Now, when I say sales process, there's a lot to sales. So obviously we need a great salesperson that's on the call, that's ready to go, that's going to help to close that person. But before we even put in place a salesperson, we need a framework for them to follow that they can predictably close leads. Because ultimately, salespeople, they're going to come and go. At some point, or they're going to be sick, whatever. At some point, you're going to have to put someone in their place to be able to take over the sales process. So therefore, you need a framework in place that someone else can follow that's going to step that prospect through the sales funnel. Now, once we've got them determined that yes, there's need, urgency, budget, they're ready to go, they're likely to say, hey, I'm not ready for another 2 weeks, 4 weeks. The thing that we need to make sure that we do in sales is follow up those that don't close. This sounds obvious, but so many businesses don't do this and they don't have follow-up processes in place to make sure that that prospect is followed up in 4, 6, 8 weeks time. If they're not followed up, there's a good chance that they're not going to reach back out and actually sign the agreement and get started. So you need to be there stepping them through that whole process if you can't close them in that initial meeting. The next problem we have after a marketing and sales problem is capacity. So in other words, your ability to deliver for the customers that you're selling. At some point, a lot of businesses do experience this. So if you're getting really, really good at lead generation and sales, you're going to put pressure on your delivery systems. So having a more structured way, so getting really clear on who your target audience is, what they actually need in that initial engagement, and then continuing to deliver that way. That is one of the most important things that you can do as a business, is making sure that we don't customize that delivery process for everyone. If we can have a standard way to deliver for that target market, then it's so much more scalable than trying to customize for every single client you bring on board. So have a think about that. The next pillar, the fourth pillar, is leadership. You need to develop strong leaders. You need to develop yourself as a leader first and foremost, but then you need to bring on strong leaders into your business that can ultimately run different areas in business. And the way to look at this is you need someone that's ultimately going to be an operations type leader. It's going to run the operations of the business and make sure that all of those components outside of marketing, sales, and delivery are all taken care of. And you need someone that's going to look after the delivery side of things, so going to deliver for your customers. This might be a consultant or a delivery manager or whatever the title might be. Someone there that's going to help to deliver that service to the clients. Account managers, that sort of thing. The next thing is someone in marketing and then someone in sales. So whether it's a sales manager, marketing manager, you need those positions ultimately if you are to scale. And that's not early on. Obviously, you're going to grow into that, but ultimately you want to bring on strong leadership in all 4 of those key areas that's going to help you to scale. The next and final element is probably the most important because it should drive every other area of business. That is measurement. We need to measure everything inside of the business so that ultimately we can improve it. If we're not measuring it, we can't change it. And if we can't change it, we can't improve it. Therefore, make sure you measure, understand what your key metrics should be inside of the business, and then continue to measure those, track those, make changes off those, and manage them accordingly. Hope that helped, guys. Put a comment in the comment section here if you do have any questions.